Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today we're going to train you to become a full-on vocabulary word detective. If you've ever stared down a massive, terrifying scientific word and felt your brain just completely reboot, well, you're absolutely in the right place. We're going to decode all that complex language using incredibly simple roots, specifically looking at the language of skin. Let's kick things off with a massive question. Have you ever watched those spelling bee champions effortlessly rattle off the spelling for some 14-letter medical term and thought, no way, how on earth did they memorize the entire dictionary? Well, here's a little secret. They literally didn't. Rote memorization is just too inefficient. Instead, top spellers rely on a secret weapon. They look for roots first. When they hear a word, they instantly break it down into its roots, recognize where it came from, and predicted spelling. This strategy saves so much time during competitions, and it's exactly the strategy we're stealing today. So meet our primary suspect for this explainer, the Greek root DERM. It's pronounced exactly like it looks, rhymes with term. The formula here is incredibly simple. DERM equals skin, or more broadly, an outer covering or layer. I want you to literally visualize this. Think of skin as a protective layer that wraps around your body like a suit. Every single word that contains DERM relates in some way to the skin itself, layers of skin, or an outer covering. This is why you instantly know that a dermatologist studies skin problems. What's actually super fascinating is the journey this root has taken. Long ago, in ancient Greece, people used the word derma to mean an animal hide or human skin. Later on, as knowledge spread, it got absorbed into the Roman Empire's Latin scientific vocabulary. Skip ahead a bit to the Renaissance, and scholars enthusiastically revived this Greek medical terminology. Eventually, it made its way right into our modern everyday English. Today, DERM appears in so many words related to the skin. So, how do we actually use this? Well, here's your official 3-step word detective strategy to break words into parts to understand them. Step 1, look for the core root, our anchor. Step 2, identify any prefixes attached to the front or suffixes hanging off the back. And step 3, combine those literal parts to predict the meaning. You're basically solving words like a giant puzzle. This whole thing works beautifully using prefix power. Treat vocabulary like simple math. Prefixes change the meaning. You just snap them onto DERM, like Lego bricks. Take epi, which means upon or top. Snap it on, and you get epidermis. The epidermis protects your body because it's the outer layer on the skin. Or take hypo, meaning under. Add derm and the ic ending and you get hypodermic. It literally means under the skin. So a hypodermic needle goes under the skin. See how that works? Then you've got endo for inside, giving us endoderm, or the inside layer. Knowing prefixes helps you understand the exact meanings. And suffixes are just as powerful. Suffixes tell you what kind of word it is, and they also change the meaning. Derm plus ology, meaning study, gives us dermatology, the study of skin. If you see itis, that's inflammation. So dermatitis is simply skin inflammation. Basically, dermatitis can make your skin really itchy. Snap on al to get dermal, meaning relating to skin, or use oid, meaning like, for dermoid, which just means skin-like. It's totally logical. Now you do have to be a bit careful as a word detective, because this root wears disguises. It's not always spelled exactly D-E-R-M. The root derm can appear in different forms like derm, derma, dermat with a T, and dermis. These forms all relate to skin. They shift slightly depending on if the word is a noun, an adjective, or a highly specific scientific term. But no matter the disguise, they all belong to the exact same family tree. Sometimes, derm actually hides inside much longer words. You really must look carefully to find it. But train your eye, and you'll spot it everywhere. There it is, anchoring the end of epidermis. It's smack in the middle of hypodermic, hiding near the end of taxidermy, sitting right at the front of dermatology, and it finishes off pachyderm. You'll even see it in advanced words like transdermal. Trans means across, derm is skin, al is relating to. Boom, medicine applied through the skin. Even when it's hidden, the meaning still connects straight back to skin. To lock all these words into your brain, you should definitely use fun images. Funny mental pictures make words way easier to remember. Take pachyderm. Just picture an elephant with patchy, thick skin. An elephant is a pachyderm because it has thick skin. What about taxidermy? Well, it has absolutely zero to do with driving a taxi. The Greek word taxis actually means arrangement, so taxidermy is arranging and preserving skin. And for epidermis, just remember epi is epic and on top. Visualizing these makes them stick for sure.
Now, top spellers don't just stop there. They also compare Greek roots to similar Latin ones. A very similar Latin root is cutis, which also means skin. Notice how the Greek word hypodermic and the Latin word subcutaneous mean the exact same thing. Hypo and sub both mean under. Derm and cutis both mean skin, under the skin. Learning both helps you avoid confusion when science books switch back and forth between Greek and Latin.
Of course, we gotta watch out for those tricky words. English is full of spelling bee traps. First up, derm is not the same as germ. They rhyme, sure, but they are completely unrelated. Second, watch out for sneaky silent letters, like the CH in pachyderm making a hard K sound. And finally, Greek words often use connecting vowels, like the O in dermatology. Recognizing these patterns helps you spell correctly and dodge the traps that catch so many spellers.
Okay, let's put your detective skills to the test with some science vocabulary. DERM words appear often in biology to explain how living things grow and function. You'll encounter layers like ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Try to guess the meanings. We can decode this instantly. Ecto means outside, so ectoderm is the outer layer. Meso means middle, so mesoderm is the middle layer. And endo means inside, making endoderm the inner layer. By breaking the word, you can solve it like a detective without even opening a textbook.
All right, now we can tackle those advanced boss-level derm words that are super common in high-level spelling competitions. Take xeroderma. Sounds intense, right? But xero just means dry, and derma means skin. It's simply a dry skin condition. Or dermatophyte. Phyte means plant or growth, making it a skin fungus. And pachydermatous is just the adjective form of pachyderm, meaning thick-skinned. When you practice peeling back the parts, these terrifying words suddenly become super easy to master. So let's apply literally everything you've learned for one final challenge. Can you decode the national-level spelling bee word dermatoglyphics? Take a second. Imagine standing on a stage under bright lights. What pieces are hiding inside this word? If you used your detective skills, you probably broke it right down into its parts. You spotted derm, meaning skin. You probably know glyph from hieroglyphics, meaning a carving or pattern, and ix means a science or study. Skin, patterns, and science. Put it all together, and it's the scientific study of fingerprints. You just decoded a championship word by just looking at the Lego bricks. To wrap up this explainer, I want you to remember this champion speller mantra. See derm, think skin, peel back the word and reveal its meaning. When top spellers see derm, they think skin, and they use that clue to understand meaning and predict spelling. Keep training like a word detective, and I'll leave you with this final provocative thought. If just one single root can unlock all these complex words, imagine what you could decode if you learned just 10 more.